Hey, what is going on everybody? Ninja here, and today we're back at you in the Dragon Ball video. So if you guys don't know, yesterday the Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks slash Goku Black arc just wrapped up, and holy cow guys, if you haven't checked it already, check out pretty much my thoughts breaking down the best OSTs and themes and orchestras from this arc, because I had a lot of stuff to say. And in that video I said I would later be giving my thoughts in my Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks arc review. Well, here it is, guys. But I'm not alone. There is absolutely no way I can break this all down by myself. Joining me today is, would you like to introduce yourself?
Da 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 da. It's Saiyan Man.
Hey, it's Saiyan Man. Yeah. Go check his channel out,
Yeah.
guys. I'll have it linked in the description. So, we're just going to be breaking down our thoughts on this entire Future Trunks arc. We're not going to be doing like an in-depth review, like what happened every single episode or anything like that. We're just going to be giving our thoughts on, I'm going to bring up some certain points. We're both going to give our opinion on it. And at the very end, we're going to give our overall opinion and would we recommend it. So, let's start with our first point. What did you think of the animation, Saiyan Man?
Okay, so the animation was really good in this arc. There are a few downfalls at the start of the
every
arc.
single moment, it's hard
but
to see
only-
it's hard to like find a near perfect anime that has like no bad frame of animation. You will always find at least one bad frame or kind of off model, but like there are others that are more than others, like the Resurrection F saga, aside from like the Blu-rays and stuff. Just the raw TV edition had more than others. This arc even had some off-model animation moments, but it wasn't as noticeable as, like episode 5.
Yeah, like I can count only 2 episodes that the animation had downfalls, but it was really almost unseeable. Like at the last episode of this arc, there are some few moments like Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta didn't seem correct enough.
Yeah.
And the other episode that I can think about that his animation wasn't that perfect as the rest of the arc is the Goku versus Black, the Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Black, the first time they fought. So like there was a whole debate of if Goku was an actual Super Saiyan 2 or 1 because of the lightnings, and some shots were like drawn as Super Saiyan, but it actually was Super Saiyan 2, I think.
Yeah, it probably was, because it just makes the most logical sense.
But the rest of the animation of this arc was incredible, like especially the Shida episode.
It was episode 57. It was episode
57. Which Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Trunks.
And fighting Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black.
Yes.
And Nano Man. That was some movie quality animation, let me tell you right there. That was some movie quality animation. That was you could tell they saved up their animators for that and the climax because they put so much effort into it. And I gotta say though, people will argue over the finale, but there's no denying Vegito Blue versus Goku Black versus Merge Zamasu had incredible animation. Its art was very nice as well, but it's mostly the animation, the fluidity of the fights that kept the action going. Even though the fight was only 3 minutes, it kept my heart racing as I was watching, and I was like, man, this is wow. Like this is made by the same people who made that episode 5 that we don't speak of to this day. They really did step up their game for this. And like regarding the Super Saiyan 2 versus Goku versus Goku Black thing, it wasn't that bad. It's just it was kind of average compared to the rest of the arc. Like it was like a B-level animation. I think they hired like their B team for animators on that arc, but everything else it just made up for it. It wasn't that bad. It was just decent. Could have been done a little better, but yeah. Overall, I agree with you, man. The animation on this was just fantastic. For a good portion of the arc, I'm very, very satisfied with the animation. You could tell they saved up their budget for this arc, and not only that, the art was on point and everything else. So,
yeah, it's not like they saved the budget, but with the Universe 6 arc made Dragon Ball Super successful in Japan. Like, it kisses One Piece in the ratings. Like it's really, really like slightly under One Piece. I believe that with this new arc, which we're not going to talk about right now because it's spoilers,
Mhm.
um,
I mean, this is a
uh,
spoiler-filled
it,
review
it can
anyway,
be
so
it can pass One Piece easily because like because of the Universe 6 arc, we not we Dragon Ball Super got a higher budget, and
grin and
Future
everything
Trunks
else.
arc had a great animation because they had more budget to invest.
They because they had a higher budget because of all those successful
Yes.
ratings with the Universal Tournament and stuff. So yeah, I think we touched on the animation quite a bit, and it's so nice and smooth and fluid. Now let's go on to our next point, the music. Now the music in this arc really did step up the game. I'm going to tell you something before this. Obviously, I think Sumitomo, the composer for Dragon Ball Super, I consider him to be okay in the Battle of Gods and Resurrection of Arc. He has some really, really nice themes here and there, but sometimes it seemed like out of place. Like when Goku arrived in Battle of Gods, that the music just felt out of place. A lot of the music, my opinion on Sumitomo was not very positive until
Yeah,
this
when
arc.
Goku showed up and the Gotenks team
Dun,
started, it
dun,
was so
dun, dun,
wacky.
dun, dun, and it's like
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. But my opinion on him, I gained a lot more respect for him after listening to a lot of his themes from this arc. Like talked about my favorite ones in the video I posted earlier today. Check it out if you haven't already, guys. But it's just it's so nice. Like you could tell he really did improve. A lot of the music is intense. Not all of it is intense. It has some very nice tracks that are fit, sad. A bunch of them are just so smooth and like. There is one that I forgot to mention in my in that video. It was this one called it was the what do you call that episode preview music that is called
Oh,
again?
a dangerous foe.
Yes, that one. It's very suspenseful, great theme. It can go with a bunch of other Dragon Ball scenes. Like I made a joke video a while ago saying just Dragon Ball Z scenes with Dragon Ball Super music, and it was meant to feel out of place. But if I incorporated this arc's music, or at least a good portion of this arc's music, it would fit perfectly fine because this arc's music can go well with a lot of things, and it was greatly composed. Your
Yeah,
thoughts?
the next episode preview was, without a question, my favorite track in the new OST.
Yeah,
And right after that, the Super Saiyan Rose,
Rose.
Goku Black transformation team
Mm-hmm.
was so epic. Like you could feel that uh, he is a god now, like officially a god,
It's
and
called. In fact,
so
it's
amazing.
literally
It
nicknamed
gave me
sometimes
chills.
"Birth of a God."
Yeah,
Mhm.
the in terms of animation and soundtrack, this arc is incredible. Like the soundtrack is really, 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 really good.
Mhm.
Like the like I'll tell you what are my thoughts right now. Until now, my favorite soundtrack was Japan's GT soundtrack. I love GT's
Yeah,
soundtrack.
especially at least the Japan's version of GT soundtrack. We don't speak
Yeah,
about the English dub one.
yeah. And now the Future Trunks Arcs Super's soundtrack,
Hmm.
Fast GT's, and GT's soundtrack is really, 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 really good. Like I can listen to it for hours,
Hmm.
and Sumitomo did a great job
Yes.
with this soundtrack.
Absolutely, he just did a fantastic job and did a great work on it. And I'm hoping when they do get around to dubbing Dragon Ball Super, they don't like. I hope they at least get to keep it or have something that can be just as good. I doubt that'll be possible because this arc's music was just incredible, but who knows? So yeah, the animation and music we've been overall pretty positive for the most part. Now we're going to get into more interesting, more controversial stuff that will be debatable among fans. This will be the writing of this arc. Oh boy, here we go. Sandman, would you like to start us off?
um, okay, where where should I start?
All right,
There is so much to talk.
let's start with the beginning. I think the beginning of this arc. Well, let's go into the beginning, like where we're first being introduced to Trunks and Black and everything else.
Like the actual beginning was in the last Potafu arc episode,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like in
Technically
the
that.
like last minute of the episode, and we seen like Trunks running and running and running, and then lights. There are lights behind him, and he turns around, and then there are the subtitles like next week and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah. And that got everyone's
Uh,
heart racing. And the best
and
part,
then the Sumitomo's next episode preview music started, and I was like, oh boy, this arc is going to be something. Like, but we've talked already about the music, about the story. The story was really how should I say it?
very like mixed. What would you just say?
Yes,
Yeah,
like my opinions are
varying.
very mixed about the
Hmm.
story. Like with whole the all time loop thing, and no Black and Zamas, and now the ending thing about future Trunks alternate timeline, and the writing was very on point, but it was very confusing. Like if
Yes.
Geekdom wasn't there to explain some things, I was like my mind couldn't keep it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Like what's funny is like they in the timeline thing you're supposed to put in like quite a bit of thought, like it's in because with the timeline thing that stuff's confusing, so you need to put some thought into it. And yet later words after, where we have to watch Trunks's random power up that was kind of confusing at the same time. And then and then we're supposed to watch with an open mind, like, oh, just don't think about it. Like first we're supposed to put thought into it, and then we're not supposed to think about it. Like what? Like it's putting me in the split. Like the writing, I think the beginning part where we know where the mystery of Black, we have no idea who this being is. That's great stuff right there. It's the mystery of Goku Black is very interesting, and we see Trunks' story. The writing is, a bunch of, it's very nice and smooth in the beginning. It gets better later words, and then we go into the timeline stuff where it begins to get a little, so and so confusing, throw some people off, myself included,
yes,
and it gets
like
ridiculous. And then, but I do like a few things. Like I do like where Goku Black goes to a timeline, or sometime I'm not even gonna mention the timelines. He goes somewhere where apparently Zamasu was planning on killing Goasu, but Goku Black does it for him, and then but Goku Black's like, "Here, Zamasu, you are now officially a Kaioshin." Hands him the Patari earring. Zamasu shows his true colors by taking the Patari earring and the two form a truce, and do the Zero Mortals plan where they wipe out all the Kaioshins and everything. That's shown off camera. Wish they kind of would have shown the zero where they wipe out all the Kaioshins, but whatever. It was nice writing on that part. Aside from the timelines, that part was really. I'm not even gonna get into it. The power scaling, it was
whoa, no, 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 you're not going to enter this area.
yeah, yeah,
No, no, it's a ninja star.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, let's just focus on everything else. Yeah, let's go back to the fights. Yeah, the fights, well, not writing, but like the overall lore, I do like that, especially when Chi Chi and Goten were big murdered by Goku Black. That stuff's really dark writing right there, and that's very,
Yes,
very, very
like
nice.
this moment is the saddest moment in Dragon Ball Super, in my opinion.
And one of the darkest moments in
After
Dragon Ball, period.
Bulma's death, and of course Magetta cries in Universe 6R. It was it was so painful.
Yeah, it
Like
was so painful to watch, and made us hate Zamasu and Zamasu slash Goku Black even more, because it showed. And this. I think that moment in particular is why people are saying Zamasu is the greatest Dragon Ball villain. Period, because that is just it hurt. Like it showed what a heartless monster Zamasu can be, and it was just crazy. And yeah, that was just the writing for it. Now I
yeah,
know.
like Zamasu's character. Actually, I don't know why, but Zamasu's character really reminded me of Baby.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. He
so,
thinks he's
like
doing
finally
justice.
there is a villain that does something until the end, and uh, of course get beaten at the end, but that's not the point here. But finally a villain that does something crazy, that actually takes a power can um, that can be used for his favor and his plans, and the whole justice thing, where he sees his plan as the justice of the gods, and that the mortals are um, the gods' mistakes, and
That stuff is just really, really well written right there. And he,
it was really really deep. Like I can feel that they could have give us another like 3 or 4 extra episodes, like 2 for Vegito and Trunks at the ending,
mhm.
and another 2 for seeing Zamasu's mind, but very very deeply, because Zamasu's mind was very actually creative, very creative. Like he thinks about things that no one ever thought of. Like, if a Kaioshin is born, he won't think of things like this. Like, he will just go straight by the plan of being a good guy and all of that. But I like that Zamas really thought of all the things from the base up.
Mhm.
Like, I really liked Zama's character, but of course, like every villain in Dragon Ball, he did a mistake, uh, and thus losing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I pretty much agree for the most part. Zamasu's writing was very, very nice, and yeah, we've talked about a lot about the positive writing, but you know how all right, viewers, you know how we said earlier that pretty much, this our opinions on the writing was a little mixed. You see, we're all being positive now, but then Sandman, you made a joke earlier that we shouldn't touch on this, but we have to because there's no way we can just go out without this unmentioned. The power scaling. I know we don't. You and I
Yes.
both don't want to talk about it, but we have to. Otherwise, this won't be a good review. So power scaling. I actually didn't. I
Go
didn't have a
ahead.
problem with it. I actually did not have that much of a problem with it in the beginning. Like I'm okay with the Black being on par with Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and then working his way up to be as strong as a Super Saiyan Blue, and even stronger than that to begin with. Like I was okay with that, and then it was mostly the finale where I had most of my problems with.
Yeah, I want to sum all of the power scaling problems in one single word: Trunks. He's the problem of all of the power scaling in this arc. Like,
Yeah.
how can a Super Saiyan 2 Trunks can challenge a Super Saiyan 3 Goku at the beginning of the arc, and then go up and up and up to the level of Super Saiyan Rose Black jump? Like, it was a huge jump in power. Like,
It made
I
no
guess that
like
you can say it's because all of the Zenkais, and that because he got trained with Vegeta. But like, if he trained with Vegeta,
he
we
shouldn't be
haven't
as
seen.
strong as he should be
Yeah,
strong, but not like that insanely powerful. And it's just that stuff was a little bit too thrown in there, and just it was slightly just I didn't uh did like it that much. And the Vegito thing, I'm gonna talk about the Vegito thing, the Patara retcon. When I first saw it, I was legitimately kind of upset and angry because I figured it was lazy writing, but it did
yeah, me too.
kind of fix a previous mystery that was in the Boo saga of Dragon Ball Z, why Vegito split, and it. Okay, I guess that kind of makes up for it. I think that I still believe that's somewhat lazy writing, but it doesn't bother me too much. Problem is where
You
I
know,
do have is here's where it bothers me. You remember in Dragon Ball GT, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the fusion dance, you get up to 30 minutes. Gogeta stopped at 15 because of the power. Okay, he's a fusion, just a fusion dance fusion. It doesn't. Okay, maybe that version's a little more limited. But Tara fusion in the original, Goku and Vegeta, they weren't tired after they unsplit inside Majin Buu. They weren't tired at all. And yet here they split early because because they were being worn down too much. That's where I get a little feisty.
yes.
So yeah, I
Like,
think
if you give the Pataras an hour, it should be an hour, and no matter what form do you use, because Like they say that it's the most powerful weapon of the gods of the Kaioshins, but then it works only like 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
for
ridiculous.
mortals.
So yeah,
Like,
those are thoughts on the writing. It's kind of mixed for the most part. That's where most of the that's why it kind of brings down the score a little
yeah,
bit.
I want to say another thing.
Hmm.
Like, if you think deeply, okay, you can get the Trunks power up thing and the new form that we will never get explanation of what it is. But okay, they gave him a new form. His power will increase in a crazy
Exponentially and
way.
stuff.
Okay, I can accept it uh, in a way, but in the last episodes, like where Trunks and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta did father son Gully Gun
Yeah,
uh, together, and it wasn't enough to stop Zamasu. And then Goku fired up a
Kamehameha,
Kamehameha.
just a regular, maybe slightly super Kamehameha. It
Yeah, but with it was all of his power. Like, I can clearly say, you can clearly say that it was 100% of his power, and this is the reason that he used later the Kaioken. Only because of he used all of his power, then he needed more.
yeah,
But it doesn't make sense. Like, an episode before, you could tell that Vegeta is a lot stronger than Goku. Like, a lot stronger than Goku. And then he and Trunks, which got the highest jumping power in this arc, can't beat Zama's Ki Blast. Like, it didn't make that much sense. Like, I guess that you can tell that they didn't make the maximum effort in that Gully Gun,
yeah,
but it's still a Gully Gun of Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta,
exactly.
and Trunks together, combined. It needs to be super powerful. Like, I don't think that if they did it against Goku and Goku did that Kamehameha, I don't think that Goku would have survived actually. Like,
Yeah.
it's in logical. I can't I can't explain it that well. Like, it's really a mind fuck, to be honest.
Yeah, so okay, that's been our opinion on the writing. It's been we it's been mixed. We're kind of so and so about it. It's split for the most part, but it's kind of where the arc kind of goes down. Not the arc, but downhill. Like where it kind of brings down its score a little bit. But now it's gone to stuff a little slightly more positive, ish kind of. Not really. The character development. Now we speak now. The character development I think was a little more so and so like it had good development for Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. I actually didn't mind the Gohan stuff. I think the Gohan stuff was actually okay. Cause the
Yeah.
reason is because we saw in that one episode where Trunks sees Gohan completely as a family man, relaxed, completely different from future Gohan. Trunks is happy, and that's nice development for Gohan as we see he's now a family man. He's happy and everything. We see how much he's grown as a character, and fans they will be angry. They won't be satisfied. Yeah, I'm not. I personally, as a Gohan fan myself, I'm okay that Gohan's happy and this is the real Gohan. He's never always wanted to be like an obsessed fighter or anything like that. So, yeah, I think that's a nice development for him, of course. But then again, if you think there's no question, this arc had mostly just developed on the trio, and then everything, and then the other characters weren't really brought in that much. They mostly just stayed on Earth. We did get some nice character development for Trunk. No, we already said Trunks. Mai and Bulma, like they actually played a very interesting part in this, and we maybe appreciate Mai a little more than I did originally. And yeah, the character development. I think it was okay for the trio at least, and of course a few additional characters and yeah. Uh,
Yeah, like the Pilaf gang and the Kid Trunks, and actually my got development, like Future Mai and Mai.
they
They
both got
both
nice
got
development.
development. Yes, and like I liked what this arc did to the characters. Okay, you can say that it now was the Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks show, but other characters got their moments too. Like where when Piccolo did a Mafuba to show Bulma. It was very funny. It was a highlighted moment for Piccolo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and then we get to see at the very end, we see Gohan pretty much, Gohan as, like, right when Trunks is about to leave the time machine, we see Gohan just finish his training with Piccolo, sweating and everything, and then we see he's begin to start training with Piccolo and future Trunks. He sees a vision of just the current Gohan similarities with future Gohan, and then of course Gohan gives him big thumbs up and stuff. So yeah, that was that was interesting. Would you like to touch on that a little more?
yeah, and this connects to a video that I'm going to do in the future. It can be done right now because of technical problems, but it will be in the future. It's basically the whole Gohan thing. Okay, like I like that this arc smashed the Gohan fans about, oh, we'll go and be the hero in this arc. Will Trunks and Gohan fuse and blah blah blah. And I didn't like this whole idea of Gohan returning back. And I'll tell you why. It's because it's not Gohan. It's not Gohan to fight. It's just not Gohan. Gohan fights only when he has to. Like
Yes.
I can send I can you can say that if Trunks got beaten and Goku and Vegeta and they could not escape or barely escape and then couldn't return to the future. Okay, so Gohan would have trained in the time chamber or the room of spirit and time. It doesn't matter how you
Mm-hmm.
call it.
Yeah.
Um, and then go into the future and does do cool things and blah 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 and Gohan is the hero. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like I like what they did, that they
Yeah. Very
kept him
very
a
satisfied.
family man, and it needs to stay like this, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that's all, that's it. That's all the Gohan
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, and then that should kind of goes for the character development. We're not going too much into the character development because I think we mostly touched on it. We're satisfied. Now let's go on to the execution. How this arc was handled. Did it show stuff well? Now let me just clarify what execution is to the viewers as well. Execution, GT had poor execution but great ideas. Meaning what it tried to show did kind of a poor job and it could easily be misinterpreted and misunderstood and we don't want that. I don't think it's a good thing for it to be misunderstood or misinterpreted or anything like that. So I think this arc's execution was actually fairly mixed. I'd say mostly it's a positive, but at the same time, it's not perfect. Would you like to say your thoughts on the how everything was shown and handled and everything?
Yes, like as I said, the mixed thoughts that I have about the executions are only because of the time loop and all the time paradoxes.
Mm-hmm.
And the last episode where Whis went to the future and blah 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 created a new future alternate timeline for Trunks and Mai. But we're not going to go that deep. But I do think that, like, in my opinion, I don't like Toyotaro's manga that much, like at all. Actually, I don't like Toyotaro's manga, but he actually did the whole Zamasu hates Goku thing in a better way, like without the time paradox. There is a kind of time loop, you can say, but it's still not they haven't fought Black and he didn't destroy the time machine, and then Bulma, Bulma didn't um, show the Cell's time machine. And about Cell's time machine, it's the biggest plot hole in this arc. Like Cell's time machine is supposed to be linked with Cell's timeline, not Trunks' timeline, and they went to Trunks' timeline, and it's not how it's supposed to be. But that's the biggest plot hole that I can think of about this arc, and this connects to the execution. But overall, the pacing and the execution, the general execution of this arc was uh, really good. The character development was really good. The writing was really good. Like,
Mixed. It's
in
kind of
my
mixed.
opinion, yeah. To sum all of the things that I said, in my opinion, this arc is about five and not five, 7.5 out of 10 or 8.
Hmm. Yeah.
And overall, the Toei and the Toriyama, they did a very good job with this arc, and I can't wait to see what the future there.
Yeah. No
Expects
spoilers.
from.
No spoilers. But yeah, I do agree for the most part. The execution was quite nice. Like, if for half and half, it did like for execution. It of course aside from the timeline thing, as I said earlier, this kind of goes with the writing. It was enjoyable to see, just so much fun to watch the Vegito fight and Trunks. Despite it, when you put some thought into it, like oh gosh, it's a cluster mind fuck. But when you do watch Trunks slicing it up, it's a very nice scene, and the execution overall is. I think it's alright. I think it's okay. It's nice and yeah. So running everything down, I think the animation and music were animation great, music very great, writing kind of mixed, so and so. Character development good, execution no. Character development was alright. Execution was alright. Overall, I give this arc a 7.5, like what you said. Now I was originally gonna give this an 8, but running this down once again, it the part that's taking it down is that if it could have went in like a slightly different direction, like it went in a good direction, but it could have added more. Like it's not a bad arc or anything like that. It's just it could have added more and been a 10 out of 10 if it truly worked hard at it. But I mean, I guess they're saving their budget for the next arc so they can keep this series going and going and going. But I assure you though, if this was their last arc and they were gonna finish it off, this would have been like a solid 9 or 10 or 10 out of 10 or something. So yeah, that's just yeah, we both gave it a 7.5. Would you recommend it? That's the question.
Yes, I would recommend it actually. Like,
Yeah, same. That's what I agree.
if you didn't like the other arcs, you should give Super a chance and watch this arc because it's like a completely different series,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah,
And that's it
yeah,
overall.
yeah. So anyways, guys, yeah, who sticked around for this entire review? Holy cow, it's 34 minutes. Long review. It was intended for this to be like 2025, but I had a ton of stuff to say. I'm sure you did as well. And, we expressed all our thoughts of what we thought. So, yeah, if anyone stayed around this long, put hashtag Trunks is Chuck Norris. Just put that in the comments down below if you stayed this long. And yeah, so everyone, thank you all so much for being out today. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on this arc as well. I know for a fact Gatem's going to release his review later this week, so be an eye out for that as well. And I'd like to thank my very special guest, Saiyan Man, for just being with me on the channel, because, like, he's an awesome dude. He came to me for the idea for the review. He was the first guy I wanted to go to for the review thing, because I knew he'd be really good at it, and he did a great job with it. So I'll have his channel linked in the description. Saiyan Man, would you like to say any last words?
Just thank you for sharing me in this video and just punch that like button, viewers.
Yeah, it's a
And
great way of showing support, everyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's our ending theme.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Ninja out. Peace, everybody.